Mm, 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 mm. Oh, no, she didn't.
Girl, yes, she did. Yes, she did.
She did. Welcome to the podcast. Oh, no, girl, yes. I hope you guys are having a wonderful first half of 2022. I think we were kind of casually giving grades. I think I'm giving myself an A.
I forgot what I gave myself.
Yeah.
But I'm all excited. I have forgotten about not forgotten about it, but I'm like all looking forward to like, oh, we got a second half of the year.
Okay, yeah, we gonna come in strong. We're gonna finish strong for the second half.
Like today is the first traditional work day, or work day for the second half of the year. So I worked out this morning.
Okay.
I did real work.
Okay.
I'm working now. I'm gonna work some more after I finish this. Girl, I mean,
I love to start over. I love a Monday. I love a first of the month. I love a thing where I can reset. I be needing to reset.
Me too.
Regularly.
Me too.
But why don't we just reset daily? Like, why do we give up day two?
The day two is just like, I started getting Monday.
Yeah, I'll start getting Monday on the first, in the second half, the next first half. But, So at the time that we're recording this, as you mentioned, it's the first work day after the holiday. So the 4th of July, however you acknowledge it. And so I acknowledge the 4th of July as my Independence Day. I decided to strive to become independent of alcohol, independent of sugar, independent of fried food, and independent of a sedentary lifestyle. Okay. And so I will say I am one day in.
We celebrate all wins. We celebrate all wins.
And to be sitting around on the 4th of July and not eating nothing bad, not having no alcohol, that was remarkable. Now, I wasn't like sociable or like fighting no parties.
Right.
So, but I went to bed and I felt like, girl, you really did not have your evening cocktail. Let's go.
That's good.
We're going to see how today goes. Now, let me specify. I'm not an alcoholic or anything, but I do have the ritual of an evening cocktail, and it's more the sugar because it's like a sugary margarita or something. And then I also like to be a little bit sedated as I go into my slumber. And last night I didn't take no melatonin. I didn't take no Advil PM. I didn't do nothing to go to sleep. And so that was big for me.
That's good.
I said no to drugs and alcohol. That's one day down, guys.
For my physical goals, as far as health is concerned, I also want to let go of that sedentary lifestyle. We were talking about it, especially working from home. You don't really get up and move like Right. So I've been wearing my watch. I've been trying to track my steps. And I want to make working out a lifestyle for me. I've been trying to find, I've been looking up tennis courts because I want to get back into tennis.
Yes, we'll get back. We'll get back there.
I talked to my girlfriend who's a basketball coach, and I told her I want to come shooting with her in the gym, just doing different things, that doesn't necessarily look like exercise, but it's still an active lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I haven't really, I want to up my water. Haven't really altered my diet much from what I was doing. I was always doing like a low carb thing. But I do want to eat without what I want, just in moderation, and just be mindful of the stuff that I eat. So that's all.
We know this ain't no health and fitness podcast, but we will people, and we do like to challenge ourselves. And you know what? This is the thing. I that's a lie. I don't like to challenge myself. I need to be okay with challenging.
Yeah.
Because I tend to do what's easy.
What I get excited about is, we've all gone through these things where we've challenged ourselves to work out, and I get excited when I can go further in my morning walk or my morning run / walk. I get excited when it tracks, 0.2 of a mile longer, or 2 minutes shorter than the last time I had to do it. Whatever, I get excited about that, and then I get excited about how I'm gonna look, how I'm gonna feel in my clothes. Not necessarily the scale, because I don't like, but yeah, because I want to, we talk about it all the time. We want to look intentional. Like, yes.
Intentional, right. And that's not a particular size, but it will go more in concert with the clothes we already own.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
How some people I want to get down to, I'm like, I want to get down to the size that I own.
In my closet right now.
Closet. I would like to put all those things that have tags on them. I will have a whole new wardrobe if I did some things. And I made a list. We're gonna move on to our actual topic, but I made a list of what is realistic for me to maintain. So obviously if I say fried food, alcohol, sugar, those are all things I love. And so I don't want to set myself up to fail, because a lot of times when you decide to say cold turkey, never ever again, but I am being intentional and mindful. So my plan is not to consume them for as long as I don't consume them, but also consume them in much smaller quantities than I ever have consumed them before. Yeah. That's number one. Number two, and intermittent fasting, you should not do it every day, but it really is effective when you do it. And so that's something that, you can casually not eat after 7, casually not eat before 10, casually. Now you can.
And I have been doing that as well. Yeah. I think that's equivalent to a long-term health goal of yours. Like our bodies are not meant to break down food all day, every day. Right. And so I am committed to that. If I'm not committed to anything else, just trying to get that eating window and close it off when it's closed.
And close it off when it's time to close it off. I think most of us enjoy eating late at night. We like to eat ourselves into a sleep coma. We enjoy the way itis feels. It feels right.
Until it wakes you up at 2:00 in the morning, you got indigestion. You like, wait,
what did I do? Why did I do that? I have been carrying a headache for the past week. And I feel like it's because I'm dehydrated. It's because I got inflammation from fried food. It's all the things why I know I don't feel good. And so I think the more that I become disenfranchised with the country's setup of how we're set up to be unhealthy, how we have all these horrible things that have been banned in most European countries in our food, the way you can't afford organic food, the way it's not accessible, all the things. So the more pissed off I get at the country, the more I think it will empower me to make active choices to take care of me.
Yeah, you got to focus on you.
Yeah, say, let me take care of me. Ain't nobody else trying to take care of me. All right, y'all. That's how we do it. So back to what we was going to talk about. So you probably have seen by now a very viral clip on social media of this young woman named Jasmine. Now, I'm not familiar with Jasmine before this clip. But she is some type of social media influencer personality, and she was talking about being a submissive woman. So in case you have not seen the clip, I will drop it in.
Do for her man
everything.
What does that mean?
Like packing his bag, unpacking his bag, just making sure all the things that he wants. And I pretty much read his mind. So it's like, if I know you and I study you, like I know how you are in the morning, I know how you are about midday, I know when you're in this mood, what you need. Like before you can ever ask me for something, I'm already on it. I mean, he's spoiled. And when I talk to my girlfriends about it, I was like, oh, how you guys doing? And I'm just like, girl, he's rotten. I'm like, he's spoiled rotten. Like, he's rotten. But I love that. Like, I want him to be that. I think my biggest flex is how I treat my man. And I've been known to love people back to health. And sometimes it's very draining. But my love is my superpower. And I used to hate that about myself. But now it's like, I'm just embracing it. Like, that's who I am. Like, if I love you, I can heal you.
It's your joy.
It is my joy. I love to see him eating the meal that I cooked. I love seeing him sleep easy. Every night, like clockwork, I scratch this man's back to sleep. And I know when he's asleep because I can tell when his breathing changes. And some people might think that's psychotic, but that's like, I just know that's when I'm like, oh, I can stop now. But I find joy in being your rest, So know what that means. And that works for us because he wants what I have to offer.
Okay, so now that was just a small clip. It was a much more offered in that podcast, and you feel free to go and listen to the full podcast.
Right.
Submissive is either a buzzword, almost like a word that's weaponized sometimes by men towards women, and then it's also a word that sometimes sounds offensive to women. And so, what is it? What makes the word submissive just such a buzzword, such a trigger word on both ends?
Ooh, I think it's hard to speak from men's perspective, so I'll just speak from a woman's perspective.
Well,
just stay in my lane.
What you think it could be.
Right, yeah, I can talk about what I think it is, but I'm trying not to allow that. As a Christian, I've tried not to allow that word to affect me in a negative way. You know what I mean? But interpret it as I see fit. My problem with the word is I feel like other people don't interpret it the way I interpret it in relationships. And so that's where the problem, I think a lot of women, you have that problem when men just say, oh, you're not submissive. Well, what am I submitting to? Exactly.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Like you gotta have the point of submission is the person who is demanding the submission. They need to be in an area of leadership and take on some type of responsibility that makes me comfortable in that space. Like I feel like the person who is demanding the submission should be the more responsible party.
Well, and even in that, you can think in any relationship, it can be a parental relationship. A lot of times children don't respect parents they don't respect. And you can't beat respect into a child. You can't demand respect.
You can't just say because I said so.
Right.
There has to be a level of maturity on the person of authority. I use air quotes when I say that, but the person of authority, there has to be a level of a maturity, a level of adequate leadership and responsibility and caring that would allow somebody to feel comfortable in a submissive type of partnership or whatever. In my opinion.
Right.
A lot of men that I see talking about submission online have nothing to submit to.
Right. And I think a lot of times we've talked about how a lot of men online who tend to make their ignorant opinions known. But again, their opinions, not judging, they're just stupid. But the point is they put themselves in category of men that they don't realize they actually don't really align up with. And this is just from what we can perceive. We don't know any of these people. We don't know the loser dudes and we don't know their heroes. But from what they have presented that we have consumed publicly, just on a tax bracket situation, they tend to put themselves in spaces that they don't belong. And no, I don't think you get more respect because you have more money. I think everyone is deserving of respect as being on the planet and as a human. I don't think you should get more respect because of your pant size or your skin color or your height or where you live or your age. I think you should just be a respecter of all peoples. But with that being said, I think leadership and why a lot of times people, whether it's being a boss or being a leader in a relationship or just a leader in any space, I think it really comes down to how you show up and respect yourself. And I think not only do you teach people how to treat you, you set the standard for how you will engage with anybody. You know what I'm saying? And you think about it. If you go to somebody's house that's nasty, you ain't nowhere saying, "Ooh, let me take my shoes off. Excuse me." You like, this how we gets down. You throwing your can in the air. But if you know somebody takes care and has a pristine home, you're like, "Ooh, let me take my shoes off. Oh, girl, no, I don't want to sit on this. Well, wait, here's my plate." And they have shown you how to manage their space based on how they manage their space. Yes. And I think it's the same with ourselves. If a man doesn't have the discipline to be honest, that doesn't have the discipline to be loyal, to be monogamous, to have any kind of integrity,
or to communicate.
You have none of that. What is it that you think I would then react to?
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And we've all been in spaces where, yeah, we may have been impressed with somebody, man or woman. We have been impressed with how somebody like, you know what? I like the way they do that. You know what? They honed in. We're talking at the top of the podcast of things that we want to change. We're excited about the second half, but we also are impressed with men and women who have made decisions for themselves and move in those spaces. Because we know it ain't easy, right? Mm-hmm. And guess what? A woman who is about her business and doing her thing, she got my respect. I'm following her somewhere. Okay, because I'm not going to be nowhere trying to tell her how to be.
Right.
Or thinking I got the best idea because I see she can figure some things out.
And when she makes a suggestion, I'm listening.
I ain't trying to fight her.
Like, hey, y'all check out this book. You know what? I'm going to go check out this book because girlfriend said.
She said we need to read this book. And I see how it helped her handle herself in a certain way. And that's the same thing with a man. The way you move in the world shows me, one, how to show up for you. It shows me how to show up for me. But if you just ain't got no kind of rules or regulation that you manage yourself by, you ain't gonna do what you say you gonna do.
Right.
You ain't gonna show up when you say you gonna show
Correct.
up. You're not gonna communicate no kind of information.
Correct.
All that. But what is it? And then when you talk about something, y'all don't want to submit, literally will never. Like, what is we even talking about? And so what happens is when a man has money, for whatever reason, it might be entertainment, it might be music, it might be athletics. It's something he has had to figure out how to do well. And off the rip, most people respect people who have figured out how to do something well, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And guess what? You probably go naturally fall in line with the person that has figured out how to do something well.
Yeah.
And so that woman that's with that man who has figured out how to do something well is going to be making sure he got the biggest piece of chicken on that plate that she is fixing first.
Yeah.
And she would dare you to ask her why she did it.
Correct.
Because you know what? Because he figured how to do something well, we all get the big piece of chicken. See how that works?
Multiple big.
I don't have to go without.
Right.
Because we have. And he's not selfish and he don't hang it over my head. And I'm not doing it to get it. I'm doing it because this is our experience. I'm adding to our experience just like you've added to my experience because I got a big piece of chicken too. Let's eat. That ain't tripping. So this particular woman, Jasmine, has spoken out on social media before. I will now insert the clip that she said before and tell me if you notice a difference.
Pick-me's are women who try to do everything right just so a man can choose me. Yeah, cut that shit out. Because I'm going to keep it real with you. Men already know what they want in a woman and who they want. But if you're so nurturing and you're an asset and it's not you, they'll never tell you to stop doing what you're doing because it's beneficial. And I don't want to hear none of that shit like, oh, I'm just a nice person. I'm genuinely like that. Well, bitch, you gonna genuinely get played. No, it's just that I'm just naturally like that. Like the shit I do for him is natural. And your natural ass is gonna get played.
Okay, now allegedly, the boyfriend in question that she now has that she is submissive to is Cam Newton. I don't know her like that. I don't know it to be true, but allegedly that is who she's referring to when she talks about taking care of her man and packing his bags and unpacking his bags and reading his mind and anticipating his needs. And Cam Newton has been documented as a bit of a trash man. So even though he has shown he can do something well, there is still some wiggle room here, but he has not shown that he has a lot of integrity because he has cheated on partners and produced outside children, and all these things are known facts. And he's talked about how he's been a trash partner. So where do we end up there? We both got a big piece of chicken, but we also still not doing none of the other things that would probably elicit our full support.
Right.
And that's personal, right?
Yeah, no, it is. It is very personal. Like when I saw that clip, and I will be honest, I haven't listened to the whole podcast, but I've read people's arguments and takes on it. And then I saw the clip that we played. Because I don't think the clip that we played is the worst of what she said. I don't know.
No, it's not.
So people, just so you know, just go listen to the whole thing, to get the full picture of what we're talking about when it comes to submission. But then people started, calling her out about her past views on certain things. So, I mean, obviously his status and his wealth play a role in, I would think that it changed her mind on a couple of things, for sure. But I mean,
from our own podcast, we have changed our minds.
We have, without anybody offering us any extra status or what.
Right. And so that's from ain't nobody offered us nothing.
But what she values is in the relationship allows her to move in a different way. So I imagine she's getting what she wants out of it. So she's ensuring that she gives him what he needs. You know what I mean? And
then that's also interesting because later in that same podcast, when the host says, well, how do you get your needs met? And she was genuinely curious. Like, what do you mean my needs? What do you mean? And
so she doesn't have any.
Well, like you said, she's getting her needs met financially or status wise.
Well, maybe that's
about in life, especially for women. Most of us have not been conditioned to understand our needs. Right. Most of us have not been conditioned to act intentionally about our needs. Most of us have not been, shown the way that your needs are going to be different than your friends and from hers and from hers. All of us have different things that we need. One person might need to talk every day. Another person going to be mad if you want to talk every day.
But there has to be something, and maybe she doesn't even realize it, because even like with her past comments, you would think that she is conditioned to move a certain way or to expect a certain thing out of life, right? And it could be like, remember with Kevin Samuels, you shift your storyline for your platform, or you shift your storyline for views. Could be. I mean, it could be several things. I know I have no problem with a wife or girlfriend, I guess. Or a partner, non-gender related, like it doesn't matter. I have no problem with that person if that's something that gives them, a sense of happiness, a sense of accomplishment. Packing somebody's bags. I'm sure my mom packs my dad's suitcase just so he won't forget stuff. You know what I mean? So I don't have a problem with, and my mom is a nurturer by nature anyway. So I don't have a problem with that. I just don't, I think it's the expectation that should just come automatic is where I have the issue.
Well, and what happens is, this is what's really a challenge, because I have a girlfriend who is, how do I describe her? She's gonna be thoughtful. She's gonna buy gifts. She's gonna prepare. She goes overboard even with me as her girlfriend, right? Mm-hmm. And when she dates men, we have to have conversations of, hold up, girl. No. Yeah. He don't get that. Mm-hmm. No. He don't get that, because he hasn't done nothing, one, to show you that he can respect it, that he deserves it, that he earned, but she naturally does that, right? So a lot of times she don't feel good holding back the love and attention and affection she can give. And that's what we say a lot of times as women is, if you would sit down somewhere and let me love you, I mean, we'd be fine. Why I gotta fight you to love you? And because we are raised and programmed to be a little bit more nurturing than they are, and to think of fun things to do, and to, oh, this will be cute or special. Oh, he was talking about that, and I'm going to get him. We're just naturally programmed to be more thoughtful and considerate in that way. And they aren't, so they're not going to call you on your birthday or make a plan. And I'm not saying all men, obviously, but most of them. And it's not expected of them, right? And so what's interesting is, I look forward to the day that y'all can play anything I ever said about a trash man and play it next to me, cooing and cuddling under my dream.
Amen. I agree.
Run that thing back. Tag me in it.
I agree. Because I mean, I actually do welcome it. I welcome it. Like,
I welcome it
that day. Because you're gonna have to know that this man over here next to me, that thing's something special right there.
Play that tape about what I said I was never do. Let me show you. I'm gonna do it twice on tape. But play the tape when I said I would never. And then watch me do it. I was on Facebook Live. Hey, y'all, look at this. Look at this right here. And so we know that can happen. It's just the way she was presenting the information, and whatever platform she has had, it seemed like, okay, is this for clicks? Is this for views? Is this based on who this person is? And it just didn't seem as authentic as all of us want somebody to spoil them. At the end of the day, so when men get online and they argue about, y'all don't want to be submissive, until you know. That would be that you have the right information. You have received the right information. You are correct.
You are not wrong at all.
You are not wrong, sir. You are not wrong.
So play that tape, but never.
But the man that ain't writing that's somewhere working and being disciplined and being good at a thing, that woman gonna be like, well, girl, he gotta travel, so I'm just gonna take some time off and just go with him. Not because I ain't got my own life, but because I wants to be in his space and he won't be with him. And right now, what he doing, we got to go see about that.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be no.
That's the goal.
But I got my own thing, and he need to call me when he get back. No, we gonna go. We gonna go see about
it. That is the goal.
That is the goal.
But things have to be right.
You miss the calls. A lot of times, I think men miss the cause for the effect, or even women. The programming is not that is a cause and effect situation. It's just that's the man. You should submit. No, this is a cause and effect scenario.
I agree.
Because this man,
and that's where the church gets it wrong. I think for me.
Right.
Like, let's not just broad brush this. That's not it. No, that's how a lot of women stay in abusive relationships, and not just mental abuse. I mean, not just physical abuse, but mental abuse as well. With partners who are unfaithful, that causes mental anguish on them as well. Like, that's why a lot of those relationships last as long as they are, because we're teaching this message of, it doesn't matter.
That's how it goes.
You're the woman. That's how it's supposed to be. No, that's not it.
It's cause and effect. Because you have caused me to feel this way, the effect is me reacting this way. And exactly. I think that if we can get any message out to people, cause and effect. And the other problem with that cause and effect, and even if you do attach it to some religious teaching, this idea of unconditional love. And not to get too deep philosophically, and this is me and my own personal thing, okay? Right. But there's no such thing as unconditional love. And I think I've said this before. There is no situation in the world that a condition does not exist. And so even when we say God loves us unconditionally, because he created us, because we are here, there's never, okay, I'm gonna love my crackhead uncle because he's my uncle, or I'm gonna love the man in the park I never met because he's a person, because it's always a because. There's no way. So even though you cheating on me, lying on me, whatever, I still love you because you don't know no better. because I know what you've been through. Because it's still a cause. It's still a because. You ain't nowhere in life ever loving something.
It's a cause. It's
always a cause. It is always a cause. And if it just means because they're the child of God, because they're human.
Because I created you, because I did. Yeah. I love you because I created you. Period.
My mama don't love every child the way she loved her child.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, it's, you know, so I don't believe in unconditional love. Now, I believe you can love somebody even though.
In spite of.
Now, I believe in that. And my dream, since I've been a young woman, I said, I want to be with somebody because and not even though. Even though he had that outside baby, I love him. Even though he don't really do nothing, he say, I love him. Even it's a lot of people are in even though relationships. And I want to be in a because and girl, because you're right. But he did this and he did this. And this is why I'm here. Because of this. Not even though, because. Yep. That's the sermon for today. Amen. Let us know what you think. Had you seen the clip? Did you have thoughts on that clip of Jasmine? Do you think it's authentic? Do you think she's just doing it for clicks and because she knew she would go viral by being submissive and packing my man's bags and unpacking my man's bags? And she even went more into the podcast when you listen to it for yourself about, certain sex acts she does that she does not enjoy. Now, I don't think that makes her unique.
Yeah, correct.
But again, what is that about? A lot of women can say, yeah, I do this and I don't like it. Okay. But what is that about, y'all? Okay, but that's a whole nother thing. Doing things you don't like. And then we can even talk about why you don't like it. Open your mind a little bit. You want to try it. You might like it. Let us know what you think in the comments. YouTube is a great place to leave comments. But if you're listening to us, thank you. Make sure you subscribe, share, and also on YouTube. Don't forget, we also have Patreon. We always have an extra episode for Patreon, which is a little bit more about our business.
All up in that business.
You got to pay for that. We'll see you there. Until next time. Oh, no, he did.
Girl, yes, he did.